Okay, you might be wondering why I put on the NYSC crested vest and cap, including a sunglasses. This is the regular way an average copper dress. Meet our speakers for our series, David, Ade, and Mr. Ebidemi. They will be telling us about their life after serving this country.
So I actually served in Ebonyi State, and initially when I got to Ebonyi State, it was more like I've gotten a good place. I think I shared with you Smidan, and I got to Smidan, and it was at the heart of Ebonyi State, which is Abakaliki, and I wanted to enjoy service. I wanted to, you know, just have fun and then have a good place to stay and all that until I was called. I was told by someone that Smidan will not be taking you. That was a shocker for me because why would Smidan take me? Why? And they said that because I studied music and they they didn't really need somebody of that what's it called profession at the time. And so I had to call someone again. We started pushing and all, and eventually they told me that the only place available is for me to go into the bush. And they called the place, I've never heard of that name before, Ulanwu Isheke. The name is Ulanwu Isheke town. As a Yoruba boy, going to that place, the name is even absurd to start with. But I got there, and that same day I took my bag and I ran back to Abakaliki. I ran back to town. But eventually, what I can say is that that place is a remote place. We had to start teaching. That was where I discovered that there are people in this Nigeria that their lifestyle is actually way far back compared to what we are experiencing and the real town. So we started teaching there and all that, and I can remember very clearly that one of the students there was telling me that what am I holding. Now I was holding a marker. I took a marker for what's this? They have never seen a marker before, like a board marker. That's what I'm saying. They've never seen one before. So what they have always seen is a chalk. They use a chalkboard, this charcoal board and all that. And I told them it's a marker board. They said, what is it used for? How do they use it? I started explaining. I know. By and large, I was able to develop myself in the village, right? I was able to read, despite the fact that we didn't have lights. There was no light, there was nothing in that village, and only one person that had a generator was able to get money from everybody. All the coppers will gather our phone with the guy, and the guy will collect money, start collecting money. I think it was 50 naira at the time or something. Collect money from almost everybody in the community. People will bring this what's it called? This small portable radio. This small MP3 player, and then they will bring it over to charge. I know. But in the midst of all of that, I was able to appreciate hard copy book, because that was when I was able to read and do all of that. And so that was my service experience. It was kind of terrible because we were in the bush. You used to call me now, and then you try to reach me for days. You won't be able to reach me and all. And eventually, anytime I will be the one to call people, not people calling me. Because I knew where there's network. Sometimes I will climb the tree to go and look for network. It's as bad. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
We actually climbed the tree to get network and all that. But thank God now that we are through it.
If you ask me, I would say a large percentage of fresh graduates in Nigeria do not know about the NYSC scheme and how it operates properly. They always think it's a poverty alleviation scheme, but you are serving the country actually.
Okay, well, I can see that my experience was not all that unfortunate, although with some elements of unfortunate, let me put it that way. First of all, I served in Delta State. We're told it's an oil state, but I happened to be posted to a maize plantation environment. There was no oil there. It was just sun
From oil to
and
maize.
farming, basically. So that was Uminade to be precise. Sorry if you're from there. Okay, I was posted to a school, private school, and funniest part of it is that when I saw the school, I was very happy. When I saw it on the paper, God's Favor International School, I said, wow, God has favored me. But when I went there was nothing that looked like favor. Everything there was the opposite of what the school said. How do I mean? It was an uncompleted building. So uncompleted that, oh God, it was a house that was abandoned. Then the dining is made for a class, the sitting room is a class, one room is a class, just like that. Everywhere dirty, scattered. When I went there, I was asking them, where is the school? They said, this is the school. I was like, this is the school? Wow. But when I came, it was even wonderful. How do I mean? I read music, and I was given computer to teach. I started teaching computer, moving on, and before you know it, I was switched to English language. Taught English language, the students are not serious, they don't want to learn. They learn, after they finish learning, exam time, they write expo, they pass. The funniest part is that they don't fail their students. So no matter how you write, no matter how you score them, no matter how you do any exam or whatever, they still give them scores that they passed. If one student was saying, she didn't attend any chemistry class, but she got excellence, and in mathematics that she attended, she failed. How? Wow. You can tell you what happened, right? They just dash them scores, nobody has to fail. That's the kind of school I was in. Sometimes it got to a point I was frustrated. I was like, why am I even wasting my time? And then the frustration got me, I stopped teaching. I was just sitting down, come there, ignore them, say I'm not interested. And then they wanted to give me query. So the first time they gave me a query, I answered the query there and then I gave it back to the man. And I was like, okay. The second time they thought of giving me query was just a few days to my final clearance, or my last clearance, not final clearance. So they just did me a round table meeting, and then when they talk everything, they finished talking, I just kept quiet, played the fool. The next day I asked them for my final clearance, I left the school. Period. They were not serious. Now the interesting part of NYSC for me was that CDS was fun. CDS was fun. Fun because we enjoyed ourselves, we ate our money, went to different places, went to schools, did some sanitation. I was in an environmental protection and sanitation CDS, so we had fun there, that's all. But thank God for network, there was good networking where I was. But compared to other person's place, it was difficult. As far as church is concerned, I was going to church, coming back, doing my music. So I stayed in a particular environment that allowed me to practice well. But the funniest part of it is that when I came to the school, they offered to give us accommodation. But the accommodation was a dilapidated building. And I discovered that the man made it in purpose to actually take the couples to that place first so that they would reject it. And you will not have to pay for any accommodation. So I went to rent a place.
What a strategy.
Business strategy. So I went to rent a place and I stayed there for 1 full year. And basically I'm done. Well, NYSC is fun, but I would not like to repeat it. That's just
Wow, NYSC is fun, but we don't like to repeat it. So